One of the most important aspects of this system and the real core of this system is what I'm about to show you now, and that's split testing. And that's finding the different factors that make a campaign successful. So for example, the carrier. Carrier plays such an important role. Or mobile network. For example, Vodafone or O2. They're both mobile networks. And eventually when we find a winning campaign, we'll have one specific carrier that's working for us. Now to achieve that, initially for our split testing, we're going to have one campaign per carrier. And then we're going to later on see which has given us the best EPC or which has been the most successful. And then initially we will choose all devices. And then once we have a carrier which we know is working for us, then we'll split test to find the best device. Now in order to do that, we'll need to have at least 1,000 clicks per campaign. So that's, you're going to have one campaign for each carrier, and then we're going to send at least 1,000 clicks to each campaign. And we're going to use sub-IDs to track the carriers. And then, as I've just said, we're going to break down we're going to look at the campaign with the best carrier, and then we're going to look at which device has given us the best conversions. So I have this offer here in front of me. It's a dating offer, and it's mobile. And I just want to show you what it means in terms of using sub-IDs if you're not used to this. So normally you will just click on the links. Obviously you will see something similar in whatever network or platform that you're using. There's usually always an option to add some sort of sub-IDs. So this is where you put your sub-ID, and it gets automatically inserted into this link. So just to give you an example of a carrier, I would just type in Vodafone here, and you will see that it's automatically entered into the link. Okay, so that's how you're going to set up your campaigns. Initially you're going to set them up by carrier, and then you're going to see which has given you the best conversions, and then we're going to roll with that carrier. You can of course use your own tracking software if you have it, and they have options for pixels here. I'm not going to go into that because it's a bit more advanced, but if you do use pixels, then you'll know how to use this already. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to head over to AirPush, and we're going to have a look at the options for setting up a new campaign. So at this stage you should have chosen your offer. You should have your affiliate links. Remember, you're going to have more than one because you've created some sub-IDs, and we're going to have a number of campaigns. You will just click on new campaign here. So I've just created a new campaign inside of AirPush. A lot of these options are fairly straightforward. If you do get stuck at any time, there's some help files that pop up after some of these questions, and you will also have a direct point of contact with AirPush, and they're usually responsive, very responsive via email. You will get it's kind of like an account manager that you will get. So let's have a look at these options. I've just named this dating offer 1 just to use as an example. Let's have a look at the categories here. So we're going to choose dating. It's important to note that some offers that you choose, they probably will have certain times when they don't run, but that's absolutely fine. They will stop automatically at those times, so it's not something that you have to worry about. Your daily budget here, you could start off with something small, for example, like $10. And when it comes to scaling up, we'll talk about a bit more about this later on. Again, here's the tips that you can hover over. And definitely you want to stay away from iOS. Choose Android only. As I've said in previous videos, if you do want to test this, that's absolutely no problem. And if you do make some money with iOS, then that's obviously that's fine as well. It's just we're getting much better results from targeting Android only offers and using Android only traffic. So just a quick point again, just make sure the offer itself is Android. Okay, so you don't want to choose an iOS offer and then send Android type traffic there. Now when it comes to these type of creatives here, we definitely recommend starting off with push ads. If you find that you're not getting any traffic or it's not converting, you could probably try app wall ads here, but definitely try this first, and then it's only when you start to get some successful campaigns and you really start to get some experience with this, then of course you can experiment with the other ad formats here. So for now I'll just choose push apps. Okay, so here we're just going to use basically a direct link. Okay, and that's going to be our affiliate link. Now this, it says target all geographical locations, and this will again be according to the affiliate offer. Okay, so some offers you will only be targeting specific, they will only allow traffic from specific countries, which is absolutely fine. This is fine. Just a quick note here, that push ads are not served at certain times as well. Now we've got an option here to target devices by manufacturer. In the beginning we will target all devices, and then when we find a specific carrier that works for us, we're going to look at the devices which convert better, and I will say now that it's normally Samsung. Okay, so let's look. I personally would not exclude users who've already installed the app. Again, you'll need to read the conditions in terms of promoting the app if they allow repeat users basically. And this is one of our most important options here. Let's go back up to country, let's say United States. Okay, and you can also narrow this down by state as well. Let's go back down here. So this is exactly what I mean by carrier, and this is the real secret sauce to the system. It's because some carriers work specifically well. Now, don't be afraid to target all or most of these. Certainly, the main ones. You could, depending on the country, you can do some research into like the top 5 carriers. Some of these may be kind of like little known carriers that you may not wish to use. Don't be afraid to target all of these, because some of these, as I said, if it's an unknown carrier, you won't get any traffic anyway, so don't worry in terms of your budget. Just obviously monitor this. Okay, and then you want to put your bid here. There's 2 ways you can go about this. You can either start low at 1 cent, and then probably you'll find sometimes if you're not seeing traffic, you may have to up your bid to 2 cents. You can also go in half-cent increments. So let's see if I choose this, and that's half cent, 1.5 cent there. Okay, or the other way, you can start higher, let's say probably 4 cents, and if that brings in too much traffic, So 4 cents would be like this. And if that brings in too much traffic, then you can start to lower that in increments. So for example, you can go like this. And then personally, I prefer to start off low. It takes a bit more time, because obviously if you start off with 1 cent and you don't get any traffic for one day, then you need to wait till the next day before you realize that, and then you can up your bit. So you can start high and then bring it down, or you can start low and then you can scale up from there. So just a brief recap of what we spoke about in this video. The most important aspect of this is targeting by carrier. Okay, this is really important, and this is how you're going to get a successful campaign. You want to have a campaign for each carrier, and you want to have separate affiliate links by using sub IDs. And then once you have a winning carrier, we're going to select the devices which have given us the best conversions, and then we're going to take that campaign and we're going to scale up, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in the next video.